What's happening, people? What's going on? How we doing? How we doing on today? What's going on, people? I hope everybody done had an awesome day. I am pooped. I am pooped, tired. I didn't sleep well on yesterday at all. I've been running around all day. I had a day of meetings, actually just sitting down and talking to people. I went out to Shorewood, out there in Excelsior. I was out there in where people like me go to jail just for driving in the people like me go to jail just for driving in that neighborhood over there. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't know. Don't act like you don't know. I was out there and started my day out there. Sat down, was able to meet Brad Johnson and his family. Finally got to meet his family and his two boys. I hope Brad don't mind me talking about this. But it is important, especially when it comes to the health and the financial situation that we have here in Minnesota. After all this money has been stolen, taxpayers' money has been stolen from the people of Minnesota, and you got an American who has to fight the system to get his two autistic children truly on the spectrum. And I'm talking to the point to where they cannot take care of themselves at all. Brad and his wife has to be there. It's like when I was talking to him today, and he was saying that if him and his wife can't go on vacation together, one at a time has to go because somebody has to be there with their kids. And the state is playing games with this man. The same state that turned over millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I saw with my own eyes today for myself. Brad and I, we had met before, and he just told me about his kids. But this time, I actually went out to his house. Bradley Johnson. I actually went out to his house, and I understand what he was saying. I totally understand what he's saying. Again, this is a elderly couple who has two pretty much grown men who can't take care of themselves. And then we have the state of Minnesota. See, this is the reason why every time I say this, I say it with nothing but love in my heart. Honestly, that we as a people, not black, not white, but as a people, we have to come together, because when people like Bradley and his wife needs people to fight for them, and they can't do this on their own or by themselves, this is the very reason why they keep us apart. This situation is the very reason why they keep us apart. Because they know if we came together as a people, as true, flat out, no ifs, ands, or buts, children of God, we can fight the system, the same system that is holding this man's money up to help his two boys, to help his family. that system we can fight. But see, the problem is they've got one group that says, oh, no, we don't want to lift you up because we need you to be a victim. Then they got this other group that they say, oh, well, if we bring them up with you, you're going to lose out. And then the group that feels they're going to lose out, sit back and go, oh, no, we don't want them. And then the group that is the victim, sit there and go, well, it's this reason, it's that reason why I can't, it's this reason. That's what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. Both Democrats and Republicans play this game with us. And what do? We sit back and let them do it. We literally sit back and let these people treat us like nothing but crap on the ground. While I've got this man who has 2 grown men that's on the spectrum. That needs care every single day. That they will never be able to take care of themselves. Ever. And the state is playing with this man. And he has nobody. Here he is, his wife, him and his wife are doing every possible thing they can do to make sure that their boys are coming up, growing up, doing, and he needs someone to fight for him. And because, again, here we are, the people who should be fighting for people like that. We should be holding protests. Hey, what's going on with you, Vic? We should be holding protests for this man. This is the type of stuff that we all should be getting together and saying enough is enough. But we can't do that. Again, we can't do that because they have made sure that they put a wedge in between us. And not only does he suffer because we're playing their game, but we actually suffer also. Everybody in collective, all of us together. God never intended. I played the game. I used to do the same thing. I was the same way. I did the same thing. I acted the same way everybody else did until I really got into my Bible, until I really start understanding what God really wants from us, what we should be doing. And I can tell you, and then after I left Bradley Johnson's and his family, I ended up at Boulevard in Plymouth. What is it Plymouth? I think it's Plymouth. It's right there, right off 394. It's this really nice restaurant. I've never been there. Professor Penn, David Penn, and I met and Robert. I met over there because we wanted to sit down and talk. Professor Penn and I, we have Robert Ryan. We've kind of developed a relationship, a kind of student-teacher learning from each other relationship. And I had the opportunity to sit down with him one other time. And today I left there and zoomed over there and had lunch and everything with those two guys. And very interesting conversation. Very interesting conversation that I had with Professor Penn and Robert Ryan. if you don't know who those guys are. I'm sure everybody knows who Professor Penn is. If you don't, look him up. He's got some yeah. I told him today because he was trying to explain something to me, and I kept trying to get him to the point because he's up here, right? When he's explaining things, he's up here. He's very, very smart guy. If you don't know who I'm talking, look him up. He's very smart, unbelievably smart. And you know how you get those smart people, they can't come down and talk to people down here. And the whole time I'm the whole time I'm talking about, because I keep telling him, you know, black people don't use words like tyrannical. We just don't use that word. We just don't. You won't hear a black, even me, I don't even use that's a white person word. That's a European American word. It is. Y'all every time, especially on the right. Lord the mercy. 2 words I wish every time I heard y'all say it, I would get a nickel. I would be rich. Tyrannical, and the new one, assimilation. Y'all been wearing those 2 words out. Assimilation, you've been wearing it out. I wish I had a nickel for every single time you said it. Robert said, or it's a well-read person word. Yeah. But I wish I had a nickel now for every time I see a right-winger Republican say the word assimilation. I wish I had a nickel. I'll just be saving up and waiting for the summertime to roll around to buy it, because I got my grandson one of these little motorcycles. Was it a 75 or something like that? Motorcycle. And I've been thinking about getting one myself, a dirt bike like his. He got we bought him a dirt bike motorcycle that he rides around here when he comes over. So I've been waiting. Boy, by the summertime, I'd have enough, just off of nickels, I have enough money to buy me a motorcycle. Assimilation, y'all been wearing that out. Well, they have to come to America and assimilate. It's like I said before. It's funny how I can see them flying the Korean flag. I can see them flying the Hmong flag. I've been in places where they flying the Japanese flag. You know, I don't think that's assimilation. But y'all all right with that? But the minute you put up a Somali flag, a West African flag, or a Nigerian flag, y'all got a problem with that. I wonder why. But people, we really have to stop this. At some point in time, the fighting, the hate, it's just got to come to an end. Can you imagine if we got together and did something for Bradley Johnson and his family? If we made the state do their jobs, if we said enough is enough, that man wouldn't even have to worry. But because we can't, here he is. He's stuck. He's got to play the game. He's got to play the game that this system puts everybody. Look, I know the game. If anybody, I know, boy, my wife and I, they've put my wife and I through hell, because they give you so much paperwork. For me to go on dialysis, I had to jump through so many hoops. By the time I'm dead serious when I say this. By the time we got finished with the paperwork, meeting the doctors, with all the tests going here, going there. They're telling us this. They canceling here. We had to reschedule here. By the time they got, I told my wife, I don't need this. I'm good. No, I'm good. Because this is too much. I understand. That's why I say I understand why elderly people who need medical care or on medical care, I understand why they just go, forget it, man. It really, at the end of the day, if it was not for my wife, I wouldn't do this. There's no way I could do this and keep up with everything that I got to do. All these doctor's appointments. All this stuff that I have to do, all the paperwork I have to fill out all the time. Every time I turn around, I open the mail. There's either a bill or a different piece of paper I've got to fill out. The healthcare system is so bad in America. That's why when people come here from other countries, I sit there and go, I don't even know what you're coming here for. I'll take my chance. Boy, I'll take my chances. In your whatchamacallit, because coming here, it's not, what's they say, the land of milk and honey. Yeah, we got pumpkin spice lattes here, but trust me, it ain't all that good. Because of the system, because of what they have done to this system to make it so hard for your average American to be able to live. For your average American to be able to live. Oh, let me see. Hold on. So my wife is down in Shorts, Texas. Oh, did she put? My wife is right now she's in Corpus Christi, Texas. She is on the beach. That's her brother. This is my wife's. Ooh. My wife's brother caught a fish in the once upon a time they are in let's see if I can get that to show up there for you. Probably not. I'm not good at this. Anyway, he's got a fish. And he's in Corpus. Let me see if I can make it big. There we go. He is in Corpus Christi, Texas. Right now. That's where they are. And that is they're in oh, she just sent me something else. If he gets a shark, I'll be more impressed. So they're in, that's my wife's brother. So they're in Corpus Christi, Texas, and they're in the Gulf of America, right? We was cracking up. They're in the Gulf of America right now. So he's got a fish in his hand. But that's my wife's brother. She's down there on the beach. And the reason, and I would be down there with her, but in order for me to go, we have to call ahead. They have to ship. Let me see. It'll be one day, 2 days, 3 days, 4. They have to ship 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They would have to ship 10 boxes of solution down there. And then I would have to pack literally a backpack full of the stuff that I need to get to start for my treatment. And then if you've been following me, y'all know I got this huge suitcase. I'm talking huge suitcase that I would have to put this dialysis machine in order for me to travel. So traveling with us, it's just not, we can just get carry-ons and boom, we can get on the plane now. It doesn't work like that anymore. I have to take this machine with me. And the last time when I went home to when I went home to Memphis, Tennessee, Delta, so they give me this piece of paper. The forensic place, the kidney place, gives me this paper. And on this paper, it says, this is a life-saving piece of equipment. It cannot go into the normal luggage. I have to take it on the plane and then give it to the stewardess, and then they put it in, wherever they put the luggage, so it's not bouncing around. Delta, which when I got back, boy, I lit Delta up. I gave them they wrote me a letter. Delta wrote me this letter. I read it on here, but Delta wrote me this letter just kissing my butt like you wouldn't believe. Because we get to the airport, I give them this letter, and the letter, literally explains it out. This machine cannot be thrown around like normal luggage. You can't do it. They would not. No matter what I did, no matter what I said, they would not honor that letter. So this lady tries to pick the suitcase up with the machine in it. Can't pick it up because it is heavy. It is heavy. She couldn't pick it up. So she gets this guy to come over and get it. And to get it from, where you put your luggage up there, to get it from that to put it on this, that belt that's behind him. Dude picks it up, barely could get it over there, and drops it. The very thing that letter says cannot happen to this machine. And I'm like, if this machine don't make it to Memphis, Tennessee, or if it gets there and it start having problems, I'm going to sue the hell out of Delta. So it went in. They made me have this thing go into the normal luggage where they just literally throw things around, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. I was boiling. I was boiling. Because I was looking at them going, if you knew what it took for me to get that piece of equipment, you would walk it to the plane for me. If you knew what it took for me to get that piece of equipment. So I don't travel anymore. So that's why the wifey is down in Texas where it was 78 degrees today. It's going to be 83 on tomorrow. 83 on tomorrow, and she's going to keep sending me pictures. Like, she got a really, really nice picture of this guy. I don't know what you call it. Parasailing, I guess. They was on the beach, and they said, well, they started hearing this noise, and then coming up over the hill, this guy was, sitting in one of those parasail things. So she'll be down there until Tuesday. I think I got to go to the airport and pick her up on Tuesday. She'll be back down. So she's down there with her brother. They got this camper. I'll show you the picture if she sends me the picture of this camper, because her brother he did 23 years in the Army, and he is Army strong. To the point, you're going to see this. I'm going to post this camper if she sends me the picture of it. But the camper, let me see if she'll give me a camper here. The camper looks like something that you would put in the woods. Anyway, so she's down there. She's enjoying herself. She got her feet in the water. She's here in the ocean. The sun is on her face, and that's a happy wife. Happy wife, happy life. Period, point blank. Whatever I got to do to keep her happy, it will get done. Trust me. But anyway, fam, let's rip it up. How are we doing today? How are we doing? I got to turn this off because if I don't, she's going to keep sending us picture. How are we doing? So, first I've got to say, which I think is funny. Let's see if you can get that. Crazy Mary. That I thought that was pretty funny how she said that. But Mary, I've got to say thank you. I got to say thank you. You know what was in this. I'm not going to tell people what was in this, but I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Help for the holidays, Crazy Mary, and that's her X number name right there. So thank you. I just want to say thank you. I got some help for it, which I'm just gonna say this because I'm not supposed to say her name. I can't say their names, but I'm gonna say it this way. I just want to put a shout out to 2 Republican lawmakers, legislators, representatives. I appreciate y'all. I know you don't want me to say your name. I know. So I'll just go with Republican lawmakers, legislators. I put a cry out for help for some families. I had a lot of people tell me that they were going to help, but no one showed, only a few people showed up. Only a few people showed up. Only a few people, like I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. And this is why like I said, I can say what I know when it comes to people helping, doing what God, the very people who got Christian on their bio, the very people who swears up and down that they're Christian, they're God, and all this here, they believe in that. But yet, when it comes to the part where it says, help thy neighbor, help the poor, you decide, you can't do that part. Right? But you're Christian. But I had 2 Republican lawmakers step up and say, "Hey, I want to help you. I want to do something for one of those families." And I just want to say thank you on today for that. Mary, I got to say thank you also very much for what you have done. That was really, really nice of you to be able to do that. So, again, because we're late in the stage, if I have someone else who decide, you know what, I want to go ahead and help Rev a little bit, you can. I'm gonna use Mary's envelope. I'm gonna see if that show up. You can send anything to Berean Missionary Baptist Church. Attention, RevTChristopher. We're at 704 North 30th Avenue, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55411. If you want to help, I will definitely appreciate it. If you want to help, I will definitely appreciate it. Berean Missionary Baptist Church. Attention, Reverend Tim Christopher, 704 North 30th Avenue, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55411. Because I would like to try, like I said, I would like to try to get out. If I've got to go shopping, which now I have to, I would like to try to get out and get it all done by the 21st. So I can turn everything in on the 22nd. 21st, 22nd. So if you'd like to help, please, ma'am and sir, help us out on this Christmas to help these families. If you would like to, again, that's Berean Missionary Baptist Church. Attention, Reverend Tim Christopher, 704 North 30th Avenue, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55411. I will definitely appreciate anything. I mean, if you take $5 and put it in an envelope or put it in a card, write something nice on there, like Mary did. Help for the holidays. Crazy Mary. Yeah. Because like I said, I still got a couple kids that needs some help. I do have somebody. I think I got to check and see how she's doing with that GoFundMe. Not GoFundMe, but the Amazon thing. So I have not checked on that. But anyway, so Walls said, and I understand. I understand where he's going. I understand what he's trying to do. I do. And I've said this. I've said this over and over. But Walls says that the fraud that happened in Minnesota shouldn't all be blamed on the Somalis, however you say it. He said, white men. I that part I gotta go. Yeah. There are, but I don't think it's as many white men as Tim Walz is trying to make it out to be. Now, white women, European Americans. I got to get used to saying that. I'm so used to saying white. That is not going to get caught. They're not going to jail. Come on, man. Look. Go all the way back when the Hmong first started coming here. Again, I'm going to say it again. If you used to sit there and think that these churches, Catholic Church, the Lutheran Church, did that stuff for free, why don't you use Caucasian? Because we don't know what type Caucasian. There's some actual, what do we got in America now? South Africans. There's South Africans. I can't say Caucasians. That, because it's like I'm an African American, correct? My ancestry is from Africa. Your ancestry is from somewhere in the European. You're not all American. You're not, even though that's what you swear up and down you are, but no, you are European Americans. I'm an African American. They are Somali Americans. You have Hmong Americans. Let's start calling each other what we are instead of made up names. I'm no longer black. You're no longer white. Your ancestry is European. You came somewhere from over Greece, Italy, I don't know, Hungary, Austria, somewhere, but you ain't American. You got it first. You ain't American first. That's why they be talking about American first. No, you're not. None of us are. Unless you go down to Shakopee. Y'all know it's down in Shakopee. We got to start telling the truth. So, it's European American, African American, Hmong American. So, when the Hmong Americans start coming over here, they were getting kickbacks. There was a blueprint. What people don't understand is, again, there was a blueprint that everybody used, and everybody used it. When they started coming into the black community, when they started coming into the African American community, the European Americans start coming in the African American community. There was a blueprint set for how these nonprofits can come into the community, write these grants, and then they can make money off of it. Millions of dollars go into the black community, African American community. Millions of dollars. But if you go into the African American community, you wouldn't even know. It doesn't even look like there's money, millions of dollars that go in that community. It doesn't even look like millions of dollars, but they do. That money just do not hit the ground. That's when Tim Walz and everybody is sitting there talking about fraud. I'm sitting there going, in 2019, I was talking to y'all about fraud. So even if you didn't catch the fraud with the Somali Americans, we were talking about the fraud in the African American community. But everybody didn't care about that. Nobody said anything about that. It was like, oh, whatever. We don't care. Our tax dollars and their tax dollars, especially the people outside of Hennepin County who don't know it, the people outside of Hennepin County who don't realize just how much money, how much their tax dollars, if they knew, they would be just as upset. If they knew how much money actually was put into North Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, into parts of St. Paul, if you would be just as upset at these Somalian Americans, just as upset. Because I can tell you, there's a lot of money that goes into that community, your tax dollars. But you don't see it. See, that's the problem. Y'all don't see that. So until you see it, and come on, stop it. If they didn't show you all this money, you wouldn't be upset. You wouldn't even know. The only reason you're upset now is because Fox told you to be upset. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They told you, Fox, Jesse Waters Jesse Waters is sitting there going, they don't even know if the number is really going to hit 1 billion. Jesse Waters got it all the way up to 8 billion, and you guys are running with it. So don't try me with that. I'm the last person. So you got upset. No, not only did you not get upset, but you really only got upset once it went nationally. Because this stuff, 3 years ago, this stuff was happening. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait. In 2001, let's start there. Put up on the screen a Republican that said something about this fraud that was in front of a mic. Did Tom Emmer say anything about this fraud in 2001? He did not. But it was going on. It was happening. They was talking. There was mumbles. People was mumbling about it. But you didn't hear Tom Emmer say nothing. You didn't hear Lisa DeMoss say nothing. Nothing. You didn't hear the Republicans say one word. It wasn't until, and even when they arrested, what's that, Block lady? This is a while back when they brought her in up on charges. Still nothing. What did the Republicans say? Nothing. It wasn't until they told you to be upset. When they told you to be upset. When everything opened up and they say, now we need y'all to get upset, so therefore the Republicans can have something to talk about. And y'all got upset and y'all start making noise, and all of a sudden you get Lisa out here talking about it. You get Ryan Wilson out here talking about it. You get Dusty Graves out here talking about it. Correct? You get Walter Hudson out here talking about it. When before they wasn't saying nothing. They wasn't saying nothing. If they would have listened to myself, if they would have listened to the Urban Conservative, if they would have listened to the dude called Wasp, who put a long list of nonprofits in North Minneapolis that were getting all this here taxpayers' money, and if they would have just started there, If they would have started there, start going, wait a minute, all this money is going out and nothing is really being done. If they would have just started there, this stuff would have been bursted open a long time ago. But they ignored us. And they act like, and even when I sat in front of that committee and told that committee, still act like they didn't hear a word I said. But all of a sudden, they tell you guys to get upset. Here you are now, getting all upset. It's planned anger. That's what it is. It's just planned anger. What's next? Because watch. Well, as soon as ICE gets done, mark my word on this here. Because ICE marched up in here, and y'all swore to God ICE was going to be leaving here with tons and tons of people on a plane. And ICE got here, and all of a sudden hit that roadblock. It's called papers. It's called passports. It's called IDs. U.S. citizens. And ICE didn't. I've been chasing ICE for the past 3 days. I chased ICE because I wanted to see this for myself. I wanted to see the pepper spray. I wanted to see them with the whistles. I want to see ICE running around. I want to see them almost run people over. I chased them around Minneapolis. Ain't seen them. Down there in the heart of Little Mogadishu, in the heart, literally standing in the parking lot of Little Mogadishu on yesterday. That's where I was at. Spent what? Good 45 minutes down there. I left there, went over to Pillsbury, Pleasant and 31st, where they got all of those row houses and apartments that they just built. That Ilhan Omar got all of that money to build all of those brand new apartments for those Somali people over there. I was over there, been over there, didn't see him. Been out to St. Paul, right? Didn't see him. Went down there to the emergency room because I heard they was going to be there. Didn't see him. But Tim Walz says that the problem isn't the Somalis, it's the white man. Okay. And I was reading some of the comments. If you go on there and look up this dude Eric, forgot his last name. But some of y'all probably know who I'm talking about. He's a right winger, and let's see if it pops up. Probably not. Or this Jack guy, Jack Unheard, at Jack Unheard. He said, holy smoke! Tim Walz says the majority of the Somali fraud committed in his state is by white men. Right? Holy smoke. That's what he says. Most of that fraud that's committed, I don't know what's wrong with my camera tonight. But you can go on there and see it for yourself. That's what he said. But the comments is what's killing me. Let me read some of these comments to you. Comments is what's killing me. So this guy says, maybe Timmy knows more than we think he does. He and his crew are mostly white, yeah? Said, baby, he's the white man he's referring to. Of course he found a way to blame the white people. That's what Lizzie B said. Of course he found a way to blame the white people. Newsflash, who wrote the checks? No. Seriously, who wrote the checks? I keep telling you, this was already a blueprint. There was a blueprint, and these people was taught this blueprint. And this blueprint wasn't made up by black folks. But African Americans, no, it wasn't. We didn't start the blueprint. This blueprint wasn't made up by Somali Americans. No. Tim Walz is finally telling the truth. This blueprint was made up by European Americans. Who wrote the checks? Who was the overseers? Everybody in every one of those offices, I will shake your hand. I will give you $10 if they were not European Americans who were on top of the list of people who ran these offices. Well, all of these people were going to sign up for all of this stuff. Want to bet? The Somalis got greedy. I'll be honest. They did. They saw an opportunity. And again, like I said the other night, they saw an opportunity. And instead of them nickel and dime the system like we do in the African American community, that's what we do. That's what we do. If the Walls are small, but Walls are not going to do that. They're not going to come into the African American community to try to find out where all this money is going, because most of it goes to the churches that Tim Walz and the Democrat buy. Yeah. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Your tax dollars goes to these pastors, these African American pastors, to talk to their, number one, to talk to their the people in the church. And those are our gatekeepers in the black. When you hear me talk about gatekeepers, that's who I'm talking about. That's who I'm talking about. You say, well, Rev, what's a gatekeeper? Those are people like a Martin Luther King. At one point in time, Martin Luther King was getting paid by the white man to make sure he keeps the black man down. Unlike Malcolm X, who wouldn't take their money. But we decided to follow Dr. King instead of following Malcolm X. But that's what a gatekeeper is. A gatekeeper is Al Sharpton. A gatekeeper is Jesse Jackson. That anytime something happens, the Democrat goes get those guys and put them in front of a mic to calm black people down. Democrats put money in their pocket so when something happens, they can go get them. The Democrats here in the state of Minnesota and Tim Walz have went into the black community and found the biggest black churches, African-American churches, and they basically got them in their pocket. Anytime, go look at where what's the dude that got choked out? How in the heck did I forget George Floyd that quick? George Floyd. Go look at where his funeral was held. Go look at where Dante Wright's funeral was held. Go look at where Amir Locke's funeral was held. All of those funerals were high price funerals, right? High profile funerals, correct? Go look. They was done at one church. Bought and owned by the Democrats. That's how they do it, people. That's how they do it. And if somebody was smart enough, Republicans, which I know that's asking for a lot. I know that's asking for a lot. If the Republicans were smart enough, they would sit here and go, you know what? Hey, let's look into some of these black nonprofits now. I'm sorry, African American nonprofits. If the Republicans were smart enough, again, it's a stretch, I know. They would go, let's look into some of these nonprofits that calls themselves helping the black community, that calls themselves being violent interrupters in the black community, that calls themselves having little clubs for where boys can go and hang out and make sure that they're safe and get them off the streets. Let's look into some of those who are getting these $75,000 contracts. Let's especially look into the ones that's getting the $339,000 contracts. That's $300,000 of your money, of your tax money. And you're going to sit there and go, I don't care. But I guarantee you, if Fox looked into it and Fox found something and Fox told you to be upset, then you would be upset. But if I sit here and tell you, you're just like, it's like, we don't care. I guarantee you, before Fox got into this, when I sat here before and I talked about former Senator Roger Chamberlain and how he was calling this out, and he was right above the target, and the Democratic Party got all of that money together and got him booted out of the seat, nobody said a word. In 2020, when Roger Chamberlain was talking about this, in 2021, when Senator Roger Chamberlain was talking about this, y'all wasn't mad. You wasn't upset. You wasn't telling them to go home. You wasn't telling them they ain't Americans. You wasn't saying nothing. You wasn't saying, I want every one bit of my pennies back. You wasn't saying any of that stuff. He said, Rev, I have to believe that that's coming. What's coming? Rev, I have to believe that's coming once they are done with the Somali fraud. He just proved my point. The Somali fraud. He didn't say anything about any other fraud. The Somali fraud. Because you have been trained to do that. When do we start talking about other fraud? I don't think so. BKO. I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think so. I think that they have their scapegoats, and that's who they're going to go after. I don't believe that they're going to look into that. And if they do look into it, friend, I don't think they're going to take it serious. I don't think they're going to go deep enough to start pulling. Look, there's a senator in the state of Minnesota. His family member got in trouble, $2 million in the African American community. They popped him for $2 million. And he's the nephew of a sitting senator right now. Right now. Right now. And the only reason he got caught because he broke the golden rule. He started going on fancy airplane rides to here to there. He bought himself a nice whip, the whole nine. He pulled the Somalian way of doing things instead of the black way of doing, African-American way of doing things. So Tim Walz is kind of telling. He's telling on people without saying he's telling on people. Tim Walz is saying there's some white people involved in this thing too. Don't just look at the Somalians. There's white people that got paid. They got paid. They've been getting paid ever since the Hmong came here. They got paid when the Hmong came here. They got paid when the Asians came here. They got paid when the Laotians came here. They got paid when the Japanese came here, when the Chinese came here, when the Somalis came here. They got paid, people. And finally, The Somalians messed it up. And if you don't think the Hmong community didn't get paid, they got the same thing. So if the Hmong community come here and they was giving that community was what, four? Because right now they say, I'm just going off what they say. They say it's almost $5,000 a month that the Somali community you get, Somalis get, right? So the Hmong came here before them. So the Hmong was getting like what, $1,000 to $2,000, and that was okay with you. Nobody said a word about it. That's what I'm talking about. When the Asians came over, but they got $3,000 a month. It keeps raising every time the Lutherans and the Catholics get together and say we need a new part to our church, so let's go get somebody else so that we get those kickbacks and then we can add a gymnasium. But we don't say anything about that. We don't say anything about them. But that's what Tim Walz said. Tim Walz said it. And I think Tim Walz is telling on people without actually telling on people. He said the European Americans, do not sleep on them because they're out there doing something. And everybody's like, oh, okay. If that's the deal, Tim, then we need to investigate. Well, I want you, once they're done, like BKO here says, they're going to get to that afterwards. Okay. What is that? That's going to be 5 years down the line before they actually turn around and say we need to start taking a look at these other nonprofits, these other NGOs. Another 5 years going to go by because apparently they're still arresting people. They're still got people going to jail. And you know how these people are in Minnesota. They can only do one thing at a time. They can only do one thing at a time. So while they're out, putting fear in the Somali Americans' heart, everybody else is still going to be stealing. Everybody else is going to be still taking tax dollars because they haven't stopped the grants that they have coming into North. That part hadn't stopped. They only stopped giving the Somali Americans. That's the part that stopped. But everybody else is still on this gravy train. We fight. We literally there's people, there's fights. Listen to me. I'm not kidding when I say this. There are actually people who go back and forth, hate each other right now in the African American community. They hate each other because one group of people is getting all this money and the other group of people is getting none of it. They hate each other. There's fights all the time between the two. All the time. Because the people who are not getting the money is trying to figure out how to get this money. And this money only go to a select few in the African American community. And if you're not one of those select few, if you're not somewhere on that pyramid, that when that money breaks down, right? It's literally a pyramid. So basically what happens, someone with a 501(c) goes and write a grant, $400,000. And then what they do is they have another tier of group, probably 5 or 6 of that tier, who have what they call LLCs. All the 501(c)s get money, and then those 501(c)s allocate money down to the LLCs. Then the LLCs allocate money down to just your normal, everyday, somebody who goes out, call himself doing a little bit of work. That's the pyramid. That's how the scheme works. So when you go track that money, the 501(c)s are like, I did what I was supposed to do. I wrote checks out to this here group of people. Then they go, no, LLCs goes, nope, I did what I was supposed to do. I wrote checks out to these here group of people. This group of people, well, we did what we were supposed to do. We went out and served and serviced this group of people. The problem is, this group of people that's supposed to be getting served and serviced, because this group of people and this group of people and this group of people, the top tier group of people, they got to find a way to live off that money that they got from these nonprofits for a whole year, because they can't get any more money until the next calendar year. That's how that works, man. That's how that works. And if they're going to go and investigate this, they need to start down here at the bottom and go to these people and go, did you get anything? Did you get anything? Did you get anything? I wonder why. Just like they're doing now. They went to the patients first. And the patient says, I've never seen one of these workers in my life. They never come by here, but look at what they've billed me. And then they go to the next tier. Then they go to the next tier. That's what they got to do when they come in. But I guarantee you, that won't happen for about 7, 8 years. That will not happen for about 7 or 8 years that they come in. So there you go. But Walls is telling on people without telling on people. That it wasn't, and I told y'all that. I told y'all that a long time ago. I said, no, if y'all sit here and believe that it was just no, it wasn't just them. It wasn't just the brown people. There's a blueprint that they were following, the Somalis. And the problem is the Somalis messed it up because they got greedy. How are you going to take a group of people in a war-torn country like that and put them in America, and you expect people who have never had anything that you can basically turn the bank keys over to them and they're going to act right? Are you out your mind? They ain't have nothing. They went from a war-torn Somali, right? A mud hole, over to some camp, which is probably even worse than Somali. And you bring those people to America and say, let's put them in the black community. They think that's being in a Hilton versus being in a Holiday. I mean, not even a Holiday Inn, a side motel. And you expect those people to, as the word of the assimilate, you expect them to assimilate to America. Y'all funny. Y'all are hilarious, bro. Hilarious. That ain't happening, man. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Even when all of this here, hey, who is that? Even when all of this stuff is said and done, then people, that's not the culture. That's not in their blood. That's not in, it's before these, how do I put it? European American liberals got together and thought they could save the world. They should have looked into these people's character. They should have looked into these people's culture. They should have looked into these people's mannerism. They should have looked into these people's heart. They ain't about to be talking about becoming Americans. They're going to do their own thing. They're going to speak the way they want to speak. They're going to act the way they want to act. They're going to go wherever they want to go. They're going to live wherever they want to live. Hell, like I said, Burns, Prior Lake did everything possible to keep black people out of there. They did. It's like, we can't redline them Negroes. Let's just raise the prices. That's what they did. They priced black people out of Prior Lake. And then what happened? Now look at what you got over there. You got 2 mosques. 2. Black folks ain't even got a black AME church over there. Nowhere near there. Nowhere near there. I'm trying to think. The only black AME churches are either in St. Paul or Minneapolis. We don't have no black church anywhere else. There's no AME Southern Baptist churches, no place but Minneapolis or St. Paul. Other than that, they got mosque in. They're gonna have the biggest in Lakeville, Farmington. The biggest mosque in the state of Minnesota is gonna be down there. The biggest mosque in the state of Minnesota is gonna be down there. They got mosques in Brooklyn Park. They got mosques in Brooklyn Center. They got mosques in St. Louis Park. They got I do believe they got a mosque in Bloomington. We black folks, we ain't got no church in Bloomington. We ain't got no church in St. Louis Park. We ain't got no church in Fridley. No. You know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna go. I'm going. I gotta be over in Coon Rapids, but I do believe in Coon Rapids. I'm gonna go by there and see, and if it is, I'm going to record it. I do believe in Coon Rapids, but you gotta understand, Coon Rapids used to be the whitest. Coon Rapids was at one point in time as white as St. Michael's, Albertsville. It ain't anymore. It's not anymore. But I do believe there is some Islamic center in Coon Rapids. If I can brave tomorrow to go out there when it's 1 degree, I'm going to go over there on Robbinsdale Drive, right down the street from the school, from the high school. I do believe, and if that is over there, what I'm thinking, y'all screwed around and messed up. Y'all was so worried about the black people. So worried about us. Yeah, you was. That these people snuck in under the radar. Good luck. You're so worried that these people came through the back door. Good luck. So worried to making sure you keep us way far away from you. That these people climbed through the window and you didn't even realize it. Good luck. These people got in the back seat of your car and you didn't realize they was in the back. Good luck. No, that's why black people, that's why we ain't been doing nothing. You haven't heard a peep pretty much out of African Americans, right? You haven't heard nothing. Everybody have just been sitting back chilling. Just be with your kids, go do your line dancing, have some little cookouts, barbecue, throw on some ribs, potato salad, no raisins, a lot of watermelon, a lot of Kool-Aid. And we just gonna chill. Because we didn't make this mess. We didn't. Go talk to your liberal, that liberal group that's running around doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. Go talk to them. But we ain't do nothing. We didn't do not a thing on there. But when all said and done, when it's all finished, like I told y'all, once all this stuff is done, we're gonna have the conversation about just how many Somalis are gonna be taken out of the state of Minnesota. Now we gotta have that conversation because y'all thought that Donald Trump was gonna send in his troop. Yeah, you did. Y'all thought that Donald Trump was gonna send in his troop and they were gonna run roughshod all over this state. And there was going to be ton loads of Somalians. That's what you thought. And y'all know that as well as I do. And once they realized that they can't touch these people, they started going after the Mexican people. They started going after the Latino people. That's why Jason Chavez, council member Jason Chavez, that's why he's upset right now. He pissed at y'all. He's upset because y'all came in, and now he was like, he didn't say nothing when they were saying they was coming to get the Somalians. Y'all didn't hear a word from Jason. Jason was just chilling. And all of a sudden, he started getting calls from the Mexicans and the Latinos. And now he want to rewrite the bills on saying who you can't touch, who you can't be involved with, and all. He wants to change the rules any single way he can. Jason is upset at y'all because y'all taking his people out of here, left and right. All of them who broke the law to come here. I don't know what the number is. I haven't even checked to see what the number is. But I know Jason is mad at y'all. Jason's not happy with y'all. Jason is upset. Because y'all didn't say. No, you strictly said, Donald Trump strictly put it out there and said Somalians. But I think Donald Trump realized that I can't do nothing to them. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to scare them to death. And if I say Somalians, and then if the Mexicans and the Latinos relax as like we not coming after them, they'll walk around the streets like no big deal. Boom. Jump out and jack them. Because that's what's been happening. So either Donald Trump is sly as a fox. Hold on. Either Donald Trump is sly as a fox, or he just threw some stuff out there, and I think he just threw some stuff out there, and then he realized that he couldn't get all these Somalians that the right wing and the Republicans wanted him to get, so he had to make up for it, and now he's going after all, because he swept up a lot of these Latinos and Mexicans. So he's got his force going after these Latinos and Mexicans. And council member Jason Chavez is not happy with y'all right now. He's upset. He's upset. I want you to know that. But anyway, surprise, 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 right? Mike Lindell. That's Trump's guy. Look, if anybody on this God's green earth, if anybody in the universe, outerverse, the through verse way over there, anybody is owed more from Donald Trump than Mike, I want to meet him. That man lost everything for Donald Trump. This man had a multi-million-dollar company. And this fool went on this tirade like he was possessed. That's the thing. Even when people was like, Mike, stop it. He's on shows and people are looking at him going, Mike, stop it. He just couldn't stop it. He literally could. It was literally like this man was possessed. And he started losing money. Then he started losing his buildings. He started losing his trucks. Right? This dude started losing everything for Donald Trump. Think about it for a second. What I'm about to say, I'm setting it up so you can go, maybe, Rev. Maybe. Just maybe. So that's how I'm setting it up. And he did all of this for Donald. And one of the things that we realize and understand about Donald Trump is he loved people. You get rewarded when you honor him. What was that guy? The drug kingpin that put They said 40 tons of dope in the United States. And Trump went and got him and pardoned him. He pardoned this dude. It's like the black lady that they got as the pardon czar. They call her the pardon czar. And that pissed a lot of people off in Memphis, where I'm from, when he pardoned this lady. This lady pumped more drugs into people's veins, up people's nose, and smoked it. She was like the dragon of dope dealing. She was carting boatloads. She killed many people in my hometown. That woman did. That woman should never, ever see the light of day other than when bars are on her face. And Donald Trump set this woman free. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So as long as you can do something for him, you're going to get a pardon. And Mike Lindell pretty much gave up his company for Donald Trump. So when Mike Lindell gets into the race, Mike Lindell is getting into the race because he's saying, you owe me, Donald. You owe me. I need your backing now. And if Donald Trump, and I think Mike, because this is just how the base is. This is how the base is. I mean, the base puts Tom Emmer into office every time he comes up for election. Every single time. So if you don't think the base is going to Mike's going to win this nomination from the Republican, if you don't think that's going to happen, I got $10. I'll make a side bet with you today. I got $10. Come on, bet me, because I got to save money to get this here replaced, because I'm not moving. I told the wifey, she's like, well, you can move it to this blah, blah, blah room. I'm not carrying all this stuff upstairs and then set up in the other room. I know. I'm just going to get me a back screen, and I'm fine here, because like I said, if I have too much room, I have a mess area. You should have seen the other place. I know, I'm serious. Should have seen the other space. I had to dig to find a pen. But this little spot, man, this has been clean ever since I started. So I'm going to get me a little back screen. I need you to bet me so I can win this bet. So I can look on Amazon or wherever you get a nice screen from, and I can order it. So I got a little side bet with a couple people that says that Mike will, from the base, get the endorsement, and then Donald Trump is going to endorse him. Because Donald Trump owes him. He does. He owes this man. Donald Trump owes this man, because this man was willing to jump off of a building for Donald Trump. He never even said how he never looked down to see how far down it was. He didn't see how many stories that he didn't care if the didn't matter. He went up to the top floor and he ran off this building for Donald Trump. This man was like, I got to get to the other side of this river. And there was alligators. It's 1 billion alligators in this here water. 1 billion. And Mike Lindell jumped in that water with 1 billion alligators to get to the other side. And by the time he got to the other side, he was buck naked because they had ripped off all his clothes. That's how close he came. But he had nothing when he got to the other side. Nothing. I believe, just me. Didn't say anybody else. I'm not saying to believe me. But I believe that he spoke with Donald Trump first before he put his name into the hopper. And Donald Trump told him to run. I don't believe he would have ran on his own because he had nothing to run for. But now that he has Donald Trump's okay, he's in the race. And because he's in the race, he's the front runner now. He is the front runner. Everybody else, anybody in that lower tier, just drop out. That lower tier, just drop out. That Mike dude who just got into the race, just go, dude. There's no reason for you to be here. See ya. And a couple of them other ones, they can go by themselves here. Mike Lindell is the guy right now because everybody knows that's Trump's guy. Everybody knows Trump's going to endorse him. Everybody knows this. And for those who don't know, and for those who sit there tonight and sit here and go, well, I don't know, Rev, I got $10 on the table that says the Republican Party, the base of the Republican Party, will vote for him and he will be their nominee. He then will go up against Tim Walz. And Donald Trump will swoop in and say, I endorse Mike Lindell. And then after that, all of the megas, all of America First, all of the TPSC, whatever you call them, all of the white national Christians, all of the evangelical, you know what I'm talking about. Yup, will come together. All of y'all will come together. And everybody will get behind Mike Lindell. Because your king endorsed him and told you to get behind him. That's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. My wife keeps sending me these pictures from the beach. Told her I didn't want to hear from her until she was ready to come home. Yeah. So there you go. There you have it. I'm done. Hey, y'all have a good weekend. I am going out to see if my dog wants to go out. This is Jordy's type of weather. It is freezing outside. You can only go outside. A human can only go outside for a couple of seconds. He was out there literally laying on the deck like it's no big deal. Like I'm good, bro. As if it's summer. Well, no, I can't say that. Because summertime, Jordy don't go outside. Jordy won't go outside. Jordy go outside, take a piss, he back in the house. Jordy do not like summer. He do not like. That's why I always tell my wife, we got the wrong dog. The only thing I asked, I go, my wife was talking about, we was talking about getting a dog, and we was looking for a dog. And people was like, hey, you need to get this type of dog, this type of dog. The one thing I asked for is not a dog that shed. Jordy sheds a little bit throughout the year, but he has 2 times a year where this dog sheds like that little Zuma, Roomba, whatever you call that thing my wife got and plugged into the wall, it can't keep up. That thing is like, dude, I look, man. I try my best. That's all I can give you, but I cannot keep up with this dog shedding. That's how much he sheds. I have to take him to, so what I'll do is next week, I'll take him into the salon, the doggy salon, and they do this thing called blowout, where they got this machine and his hair sticks up everywhere, and anything that's supposed to be there stays, but everything that's supposed to come out. So I take him in there and they do that. They do that to him. But he still sheds, man. He still sheds, and he don't like the summer. See, I love the summer. I hate the winter. He loves the winter and hate the summer. That's my dog, man. That's Jordy. That's my dog. Anyway, fam. Hey, I'm done. I'm finished. I think I got everything. I think I covered enough for tonight. Again, I gotta say again to Crazy Mary, thank you very much for your gift that you gave us. If anyone else want to help us out, want to do us a solid, want to help a family, Berean Missionary Baptist Church, attention, Reverend Tim Christopher, 704 North 30th Avenue, and that's in Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55411. So if you want to help us out, help us with these families that will be without, do the Christian thing, you can send whatever to that address, and I will do, which I didn't want to. I was hoping people just call me up and I can go pick up toys, so I didn't have to go. But at this point, I'm probably going to have to be in Walmart shopping for some stuff, getting some stuff for these families. But if you can help me out, I'll definitely appreciate it. Berean Missionary Baptist Church. Attention, Reverend Tim Christopher, 704 North 30th Avenue, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55411. If I can get a couple people to find it in their heart, to help me with this here family, I will definitely appreciate you. I will definitely appreciate you. If I can get a couple of people to find it in their heart to help me out with these families, I will definitely appreciate you. Okay? Anyway, we're done. I'm finished. I am out of here. Y'all have a good weekend. Make sure that, everything's good in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. And the only way you can make sure and be honest with yourself on there, that everything is good with your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your soul, is make sure you turn it all over to God. And if you turn it all over to God, he will make sure, I guarantee you, that everything about you will be good. Now, let me make sure we understand something, because I said something a few nights ago, and I got a tweet or DM or whatever you want to call it, and someone says that I was wrong because they've been having a bad day. And I had to let them know every day is not going to be a good day. But see, God, if you have God, God prepares you for those bad days. He prepares you for when Satan comes in and start tempting you and telling you that you're all that in a bag of chips. And we all know that you're not all that in a bag of chips. You know better than anybody else. God makes sure that he got you when we're going through those times. So either way it goes, he's going to be there for you, good or bad. Everybody have bad days. I'm sorry to be the one to break the news to you, but that's just flat out true. Everybody. I don't know nobody, even babies cry for no dang old reason. But I don't know nobody that ain't went through some type of hardship, ain't went through some type of mindset that's different than where you should be and want to be. I don't know nobody that really ain't never been really kind of stabbed in the back. I don't know nobody that ever had a broken heart. I don't know nobody whose spirits have been crushed and pressed down nobody. So every single day isn't going to be good. But what I'm telling you is, wouldn't you rather go through it, have it, see it, hear it, feel it with God? I would. I would. I would. Even on my bad days. Songwriter said, I have had some good days. He said, I've had some hills to climb. He said, I've had some weary days. And then he said, some lonely nights. He said, but when I look around and I think things over, he said, all of my good days, all my bad days outweigh my good days. And I won't complain. So my good days outweigh my bad days. He said, but I won't complain. He said, because he knows what's best for me. He said, although my weary eyes, they cannot see. He said, but I won't complain. And because of that should put a smile on your face. And you know what we do with those smiles? We take those smiles outside and smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at you. Hey, fam, y'all have a good weekend. We will more than likely see. Oh, my grandson will be over. I don't know what time they're coming over tomorrow, but I'll put a the Viking fan. But I will definitely put a 911 out for everybody who wants to come say hello to Aiden and hear Papa, crush his little heart like I always do. When it comes to the Vikings. So y'all definitely want to hear that. So, but I'll put a 911 out and let y'all know when he's gonna be here. I don't know what time they're gonna show up or what time, because usually they tell me they're gonna be here at 1, and like always, my son run on colored people time, and it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Pizza cold now. I ordered the pizza at 1:30 because I thought you was gonna be here at 1. All the time. Y'all have a good night. Peace, fam. I'm out.